All right, we're going to pick up now right where we kind of left off the other week. We were working with volume and surface area. We started off with volume, working with prisms and pyramids, and you had several formulas, and you worked through some problems on digits. You worked on section 22.2 and 22.4. Now we're going to continue on with the rest of this unit, or the second part of this unit, which deals with surface area. Surface area deals with the outside of that shape. If you think about Christmas, you think about your birthday, and you wrap a present, wrap a gift, you are covering that gift with the wrapping paper. That is covering the surface area of that particular box or that gift. So we're going to be referring to surface area as the outside portion of that particular box, shape, in this case prism. This is going to be broken down into three general shapes. Prisms. When I say prisms, I'm talking about cubes and rectangular prisms. We're then going to break it down from there and talk about triangular prisms. And then from there, we're going to talk about pyramids. So these are the three areas that we're going to focus on. Prisms with cubes and rectangular prisms. Then we're going to move to triangular prisms, and then we're going to move to pyramids. So our central question is, how can I calculate the surface area of prisms? And as always, especially with this unit, if you do not understand something, please ask, because there are some things in here that can get tricky. Just because you're watching a video does not mean that you cannot ask. Please ask if you do not understand something, because it probably will come back and bite you if you're not sure about what something is. So please ask. All right, so our title is Surface Area of Prisms. All right, surface area. Surface area is the sum of the areas of all surfaces or faces of a three-dimensional figure. So what is this formula for surface area of a rectangular prism? Our formula is surface area equals 2 times length times width, plus 2 times width times height, plus 2 times height times length. And the three areas right here, the L, the W, and the H, L is the length, W is the width, H is the height. And this is a simple formula, so this one should be a pretty easy one for us to start off with. So let's just get right into it. And first of all, this first section or area we're going to focus on is surface area deals with cubes and rectangular prisms. So this formula right here is for cubes and rectangular prisms. All right. One of the things I'm going to suggest you do is go ahead and just write the formula down each time. The more you write this formula down, the more you're going to know about it. We have three areas, or three things that we need to know. We need to know our length, we need to know the width, and we need to know the height. It says here, Drew is putting together a cardboard box that is 9 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 8 inches high. So what I'm going to suggest you do is go ahead and copy down at least the measurements. And since it's a cardboard box, that means it's either a cube or a rectangular prism. Now, some problems you're going to have a written statement, such as this. Some problems you're going to have the shape given, such as this. So if you don't have the shape drawn, you can always draw it. So I've drawn it here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute my numbers in. It says that it's 9 inches long, so I'm going to put 9 right here, 9 inches. That represents my length right there. 6 inches wide, so the width represents front to back. So I'm going to put 6 right there. And my height is 8 inches from top to bottom. So I'm going to put 8 right there. Now, all I'm going to do on the right side over here for my L, W, and H for length, width, and height is I'm going to substitute the numbers in. It tells us it's 9 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 8 inches high. And now all I have to do is take these and substitute them into the formula. So we know surface area is 2 times length times width. All I'm doing is substituting my information in. Plus 2 times 6 times 8 plus, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these down here some. So my length is 9, my width is 6, my height is 8. That way I can work the rest of the problem out or write it out. Plus, and that should be a plus right there. 2 times my height is 8, and my length is 9. Basically what you're doing is you're taking these three measurements, multiplying each one by the other, and then times 2. So you're always going to have 3 separate sections. This represents one where we have 9 times 6. So in the next one, I've got 6 times 8, so I've multiplied the 6 by the 9, 6 by the 8, and what I don't have, which comes into play right here, is the 8 times the 9. So all we're going to do now is multiply each little group. So we have 2 times 9 times 6, which gives you 108. And then 2 times 6 times 8, which gives you 96. And then 2 times 8 times 9, which gives you 144. And then all we're going to do is just add those together. So we've got 108 plus 96 plus 144. When you add those together, that gives you 348 inches squared. And every time we find an area, it's always inches squared. So, we're using our formula, substituting the numbers in, multiplying them, and then adding everything together, which gives us, for this shape, 348 inches cubed. All right, so let's go to the next one. Find the surface area of the prism. All right, we have this prism drawn out. So we know the formula, and what I'm going to do, so that we can see the formula, our formula is right here, and I'm going to just move this up some. Erase that part. All right, so we have our formula is surface area equals 2LW plus 2WH plus 2HL. And I've got 3 areas, length, width, and height. So our length, you can really have any measurement on a rectangular prism or a cube to represent one or the other. So this 6, I'm going to just put that as my length. The 4, I'm going to put as my width. And the 14, I'm going to put as the height. So all I'm going to do now is substitute everything back into the formula. I've got everything listed here, so all I'm doing is substituting in. It's 2 times my length, which is 6, times my width, which is 4. So that takes care of that part. Now let's do this one. 2 times my width, which is 4, times my height, which is 14, plus 2 times height times length, 2 times my height of 14, times my length of 6. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each section, get an answer for each one, and then add them together. So on this first one, 2 times 6 is 12, 12 times 4 gives you 48. On the next one, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 14 gives you 112. And I don't know why I put an equal sign there. And then on the next one, 2 times 14 is 28, 28 times 6 gives you 168. So all I do here is just add them together. So I have 48 plus 112 plus 168, and that gives you 328 inches squared is our surface area of that rectangular prism. Alright, so all it is just figuring out your length, width, and height for a cube or a rectangular prism, substituting the information in, multiplying, and then adding the components together to get your answer. Alright, so let me now do this one. So, I'm not worried about this part. What I want you to do is I want you to work this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now, if you'll notice, this one right here has a fraction. So, you can either keep it as a fraction or you can convert it to a decimal. Me personally, I like to convert fractions to decimals for the sake of this, because to me it makes it easier, especially if you're using a calculator. So I would go ahead and, if it was me, I would take 4 1/5. Some of you know what 1/4 is as a decimal. If you do, go ahead and put 4.2, which is what 4 1/5 is. So 4 1/5 as a decimal becomes 4.2. Let me restart the board so it gives me 4.2. If you're not sure how to do it, all you have to do is multiply and then add to make it improper, which gives you 21 over 5. And then just divide 21 by 5 because 4 times, which gives you 1 left over, so it gives you 5 and 1/4. If you make it a mixed number, but 4 1/4, 1/5, which doesn't do any good for us because we're right back where we started. So instead of making it into a mixed number, which a lot of students do, make sure you convert it to a decimal when you divide. So 5 into 21 goes 4 times. Gives you 20, so we add a decimal and 0, bring it down, which gives you 5 from 1 to 10 2 times, which gives you 4.2, which, as you can see, is that right there. So you may want to convert that to 4.2 for the 4 1/5. So if you'll do those 4, and I want to check these in your notes when you do them. All right, if you'll do this one right here, you want to think about a cube has all sides equal, so your length is 3/4, your width is 3/4, and your height is 3/4. And then, if you'll do this one, that is 17, that is 13, and that is 12. So if you'll do this one, and then if you will do this one, and then that will stop us for prisms. And then we'll move into triangular prisms on the next video.